What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of our insightful series on the Community Corner podcast, where we break down every single company at S&P 500, its story, and basically what you guys, the viewers, and us can take away from this. And on that note, I'm Arnav.
And I'm Nikhil, and today we're going to be talking about JP Morgan & Chase, a titan in the world of finance.
And today we'll kind of uncover how JP Morgan, with its stories, history, and influential leaders, evolved into one of the largest and most respected financial institutions in the world.
That's right. JP Morgan's journey from a 19th century banking firm to a global financial services prospect is a narrative of strategic foresight, resilience, and innovation in banking. So let's embark on this fascinating journey.
Yeah, so JP Morgan's ascent in the world of finance can be traced back to 1799 with the founding of the Bank of the Manhattan Company. However, it was J. Pierpont Morgan's leadership in the late 19th century that really laid the foundation for the modern-day JP Morgan Chase.
Yep, and there were a lot of, I think, key milestones that's kind of really important to talk about under JP Morgan's leadership that really allowed them to really elevate into the company it is today. So JP Morgan really played a crucial role in the industrialization of America and during those late 1700s, early 1800s kind of era. And they basically financed railroads, helping organize U.S. Steel, General Electric, and other major corporations at the time. And so their influence really extended beyond banking, and he was just instrumental in stabilizing American financial markets during crisis.
100%. But he was more than just a banker, right? He was a financial innovator. How did this really influence the company's growth, and how did his vision really propel the company towards success?
Yeah, JP Morgan's vision really and financial acumen really established the firm as a trusted financer and a key player in American economic development. You know, his ability to navigate financial crisis earned the firm a reputation for just stability and overall reliability. And I think, you know, even in that 20th century, there was kind of this period of significant growth, I feel like, for JP Morgan. So how do you think that the company really evolved kind of during that era, or not?
Yeah, so kind of over the century, right, JP Morgan Chase underwent several mergers and acquisitions, really expanding its reach and services. And obviously this is like previously JP Morgan, and one of his notable mergers include Chase Manhattan Bank, Bank One, and Bear Stearns, each adding to its capabilities, scale, target audience, and market share. So that's how it kind of went from JP Morgan to the JP Morgan Chase as we know it today. But how did these strategic moves really shape their market presence?
Yeah, I mean, these mergers really brought together a variety of financial services under one roof, really, from commercial banking to investment banking and asset management. And they really allowed JP Morgan to diversify its kind of portfolio and become a global financial services conglomerate.
Conglomerate,
yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of growth, you know how it is in the Community Corner podcast. We always got to talk about the challenges, yep. Right? Kind of encountering through its expansion, it's encountered many challenges, right? Including navigating regulatory changes, managing risks associated with global financial services, and even adapting to technological advancements in banking, not baking. And they were kind of some of the key challenges, right? And it's all about being the first to adapt and the first to control the market share. Like we kind of prefaced in our previous episodes, being the pioneer in a new industry is all that matters in order to tap market share, because that's what really gets people excited about a new thing. And that's kind of what gets them excited about new technology, right? And that's kind of what propels them to success.
Exactly. I think in the future, I think the future is just very promising overall for JP Morgan. They've been really just investing heavily in technology as well as more digital forms of banking, you know, the kind of that fintech kind of aspect to it. And it's really just aiming to enhance customer experience and efficiency. And they're also focusing on very sustainable measures, which has been, you know, in recent times very important with things like global warming and things like that kind of climate change talk on the rise. They've recognized the importance of ESGs, also known as the environmental, social, and governance factors in modern day banking, and they're really tackling some of those issues.
Mm-hmm. And their story is one of strategic growth and adapting to ever-changing world of finance. JP Morgan Chase's journey teaches us the value of resilience, the importance of adapting to changing economic landscapes, and the power of strategic vision in the world of finance.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that's really also important I'd like to add before we wrap up this episode is just the overall work culture of JP Morgan. I think that a lot of times people think that finance is this big career where people have to work just so many long hours and things like that. And I actually have a personal friend that works there. He's my cousin. He works there, and he says that after about the first 2 years, it's been great for him. And I think that kind of work culture aspect as well, even though it might be long hours, I think comparatively they seem to do somewhat of a decent job to navigate and mitigate that risk. And that's something that's also kind of helped them as well.
100%. And I guess on that note, kind of wrapping up our episode today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. To our listeners, join us next time as we continue to explore the dynamic stories behind the world's most influential companies. And I think on that note, peace. Peace.